Hey guys, let's try some new releases from Maybelline and L'Oreal. Maybelline Lifter Foundation. This is Maybelline's new foundation in their Lifter line. Of course, their Lifter glosses are extremely popular. This is like the base products in that line. I've heard some very opposing things about this foundation. Some people love it, some people don't. So let's apply it to my face and we'll see how we get on. I'm not going to use any primer. I don't like using primer when I'm testing out new foundations because I want to see the foundation for the foundation, finish of the foundation for the finish of the foundation without having the primer alter it. I love the fact that it's got a pump. I don't know whether this shade is going to be too dark for me. Yes, that looks like it's going to be too dark for me. I've got the shade 336, but I felt like the shade down was going to be too light. I did pick up a light shade of the concealer, so hopefully that should balance things out. We're going to just press some of the product into the brush, get it evenly spread out. It's got that kind of makeup-y alcohol-y scent. Let's start applying this with the brush to this side of my face. Actually, okay, shade's not too bad. I think it's workable. It's so hard shade matching in drugstores, and I don't remember there being testers really available, so yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to just make do. Actually, that match is not too bad. It's not too far off. Apply a bit more. That was like a pump. That went on half of my face and it's gone on pretty like thinly. Actually, that foundation, that shade match is not bad at all. It does say medium coverage, glowy finish. I'm seeing the medium coverage. Okay, it's got SPF 15. Not that that really matters. I'm always applying my SPF underneath my makeup anyway. Medium coverage. Am I seeing medium coverage? Yes, I am. Glowy finish. I don't know that I'm seeing any more glow on this side than I am on this side of my face with no foundation. So that is an interesting claim. These are first impressions, so take this with a grain of salt. I do need to do wear test and obviously wear the foundation throughout the day to see how it performs. First impressions, I'm not getting the glowy finish. Well, maybe I'm expecting it to be glowier, but it's not the glowiest. I definitely have glowier foundations in my collection, which don't even claim to be glowy. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure where they're getting the glowy finish from. Medium coverage, I would actually agree with that. I feel like it's actually a buildable medium coverage. It's done a fairly good job at covering some of my scars on the side already. So yes, I'm gonna do the other side. Another pump again. It is a thicker formula, staying in one place once I've pumped it out, and it's like a creamy thick formula. Are you guys seeing the glowy finish? I don't know that I am. I feel like I haven't quite lost my summer tan, so that's why this shade is probably working fine for me. That's it all over my face now, blended out. Let me take a quick close look. Okay, I am seeing, yeah, I'm seeing the glowy finish on this side more. Maybe it's my lighting. I think my lighting's slightly better on this side. So I am seeing where the glowy finish is coming from. Better on this side than I did on this side. I just think maybe it's the lighting on this side for me. It's a little bit dimmer on this side, so I'm having a harder time assessing the finish on this side. Definitely medium coverage, I agree. I think in fact you can get medium, like a good medium. I hate foundations that claim to be medium and they're more like light, max light. Not really medium. Like this isn't full, but this is definitely a good medium. I do agree with the medium. I'm starting to agree with the glowy. Let's try the Lifter concealer. This says it's a full coverage serum concealer. I am liking the word serum in there. I've got shade 60. Ooh, okay, it's a thicker wand than I expected, a fatter one, but it's like short. Okay, that is a very interesting different applicator. It's like a short thick doe foot, like a goat's foot. Let's apply. Ooh, did I go too light? Just maybe. I'm not really sure how much to apply because it does say full coverage. Should we start off with about this much? It feels very creamy. It does feel thick. With the word serum being in there, I would have expected a slightly thinner consistency, but it does feel quite creamy. Okay, let's start blending. Did I apply too much? Because it does say full coverage. And is that a bit too bright for me? No, actually it's just fine. It's balancing out the foundation shade well. It's blending out really easily. Even though it says full coverage, it's not taking me forever to like spread it out and blend it out. I like the shade I've picked up actually because it is helping to like brighten under my eyes and the center of my face really nicely. I'm just going to take a little closer look. I'm going to see if I can build it up a little more on the inner parts just to see how much like full coverage means full coverage. I think I can still see a little bit of my bags there, dark circles. So what is the maximum this can cover? The applicator is really interesting. I've not seen anything quite like it. I'm going to try and keep the coverage in that inner part as much as I can. I will of course have to spread some of the concealer out to prevent too much product being in one area. Okay, that's done a little more covering. I do feel like you'd still want to have a colour corrector underneath. It's not full coverage. Okay, that is nice and bright. I would call this medium to full. Like, I don't think it's full coverage. I would still probably recommend that you go in with a colour corrector underneath to make sure you're cancelling out any of your dark circles. Like, this alone isn't going to cover all your dark circles, and generally with having serum in the word of a formula, you would expect the coverage to be a little less than full. Just because of the formulation. You're thinking it's lighter, more lightweight. Doesn't mean that it can't be pigmented, but in my experience, I'm yet to try a serum formula that provides like maximum full coverage, full pigment. You can still see some of my darkness under my eyes. It's not looking patchy, drying, nothing like that. Love the shade. It's done a nice job brightening and getting my skin tone to match. First impressions of these two, successful. Although this isn't quite marketed correctly, I wouldn't say it's full coverage. This is definitely marketed correctly, medium coverage. I think I like the two together. I'm really excited to do a full wear test with these two, so keep your eyes peeled. That will be coming up in future. We've got the L'Oreal Lumi Bronze. I've picked up both shades. This has recently come out in the UK. I know it's been available in Canada, America for a while, I think now. So I've got both shades, Toasted Sunlight and Sunset Doré. So I wasn't sure which shade to go for. So Toasted Sunlight is this one, which is for light medium skin tones. Oh, okay, that is very glowy, way glowier than I expected. Just built it up a little bit more so you can see the shade. It's very like emollient feeling as well, a bit greasy feeling. I'm a bit worried. And then this one is the Sunset Doré shade, meant for medium deep skin tones. So if I swatch that next to it, oh, much of a difference in the shade there? Yeah, I mean, this is just slightly darker, but I mean, they have a scent. Wasn't expecting that. They have a scent. Okay, it smells like aloe vera. Okay, interesting. I would say, I mean, that is not deep. Maybe suitable for medium deep, but I mean, it's not going to go very far with the deeper end skin tone girls. So they definitely need more shades. I am very confused about which shade to go for myself, even having swatched them out. You know what? I'm going to start with the light medium, and I might do like a comparison reel in future, just showing you the two shades side by side. So let's go with the light medium shade, Toasted Sunlight. Guess I'm gonna go directly on my face. So forehead, oh gosh, okay, that is glowy. Okay, and very emollient feeling, like it's just gliding on. Okay, wow, that is actually really scented, way more scented than I was expecting. Wow, a lot of thoughts in my head. It's been a while since I've used a cream bronzer. I can't remember the last time I actually used a cream bronzer. So if at all, is this the first time I'm using a cream bronzer? No, I don't think it is, but I haven't used one in a very long time, and especially not a drugstore one in a very long time. So let's go ahead and blend this out. I'm going to use this brush here. It's like a stippling brush. I'm just going to pat it out. Oh, okay. It's definitely doing some bronzing there. Blend out the side of my nose. It's blending out like super easily. Okay. Let's blend out the cheek. Okay, I do like the shade. It is on the more natural side on my skin tone. I feel like I can be a little more willy-nilly, a bit careless about blending and application because it's on the more natural side. Whereas I feel like the deep shade, that one here, I feel like this deep shade, I'd have to be a little more careful with how much I'm applying and like blending. That blended out really easily. And it didn't lift up my foundation or concealer, which I was totally expecting because of how greasy feeling, like emollient this is. Like it's literally feels like it's an oil base, which is so interesting that it hasn't lifted anything off or blended weirdly, because back in the day these kind of oil greasy formulations would remove your base products like there was no tomorrow. So that is so interesting. Okay, again, this is just a first impressions. So next up to try, I've got the Maybelline Cloudtopia cheek and lip mousse. I feel like this is supposed to be like a fouet dupe, which I haven't tried the fouet. So I've got the shade Toasted Sky, and I just feel like this would be the most stunning. Ooh. These formulas, and okay, these formulas have like really taken me by surprise. That is way softer, and like I was expecting a little bit of pushback. That is way softer than I was expecting. Okay, let's just swatch the shade. So that is the shade. That looks quite intimidating in the pot, right? But when I blend it out, look at it, it looks very wearable. But yes, I wanted the shade because I wanted something that might be appropriate for autumn, winter, like something appropriate throughout the year. And I just felt like this shade would work for both winter and summer, especially when I'm tanned. Like, you know, I need to go for something more pigmented or darker to show up. These drugstore formulas are taking me by surprise. Like when I dipped my finger in, that was a very unexpected feeling. I don't know what the best way to go about this formula is. Should I go straight in with a brush or apply with my finger? Yeah, I'm gonna apply with my finger first. Let's blend this out. I was saying that I think this is supposed to be like a fouet dupe. I haven't tried the fouet blushes, so let me know if I should. Okay, that is blending out really easily. I've seen some people say that it's a very finicky formula and they've had trouble blending it out, but I'm not seeing any patchiness. Are you guys blending this out on top of powder? Because I've obviously not powdered yet, so maybe that's what's making a difference for blending for some people. I feel like I can actually go in. Let me pick up some directly on the brush this time. About that much. Yeah, more pigment. A soft blur formula. Not completely blurring, but there is a little bit of a cohesiveness going on. Wow, okay, that is really nice. Oh, I think I picked up a little too much for this side. But again, still blending out really nicely. Okay, I don't know why people are having trouble blending this formula out. Am I just not seeing how patchy it is or something? No, like let me come close up, guys. Don't you think this is blended out really nicely? I do. Drugstore has really leveled up. Like I don't know what to say. The drugstore is leveling up like day by day. Of course the prices are going up as well, but I feel like at the same time, if we're getting better formulas, does that really matter? But then I guess the reason why you end up going to drugstore is for it to be affordable. So it's a tricky situation. But this is a cheek and lip mousse, so I'm gonna try some on the lips as well. Ooh, can you see how, okay, that was like so blurring, so soft. Okay, I'm gonna build some more. Okay, you can build it up, but it still stays looking so soft and like blurred. Feels like very silicone-y. That's why it probably has that blurring effect on the cheek, because it has that silicone-y feel. I don't know if there are silicones in this. I haven't really looked at the formula, but wow. That is monochromatic look ready to go. I want to apply some of this on my eyelids as well, because why not? Why not just tap into the whole monochromatic look right now? I love trying new makeup, guys, especially when things are good and you've got like interesting new formulas. I just love playing with makeup and I love trying new things out. It just gives me so much joy. I'm going to powder things down and then I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I've just kind of strategically powdered my T-zone and under eyes because I wanted to leave this glow remaining on my cheeks. The rest of the products to try are all lip products, so let's go ahead and try them. I'm just going to remove that Cloudtopia cheek and lip mousse. Right, I have 4 lipsticks and then 2 lip tints to try. So I'm going to try the lipsticks first so that the tints don't kind of interfere with the shades. We've got the new Maybelline lipstick formulas, and then these are also new from L'Oreal. So Maybelline just released some satin formulas and matte formulas, and let's give them a go. I picked up one of each because I didn't want to pick up too many things and have like shades of things and too many lip products and whatnot that I'm just going to end up wasting. So I picked up one of each formula to try them and let you guys know my thoughts on them. And yeah, that's where we are right now. I do really love the packaging of these. It's like almost soft touch but plasticky. I love the tones, the embossed kind of branding Maybelline on there. So in the matte formula, I've got the shade 008, Excuse Me. It's, ooh, really nice vanilla scent. Look at the bullet. It's got a little, bullet has a little like dip. I feel like it will hug the lip nicely because of that dip. Giving me 90s vibes. And then in the Satin formula, I've got the shade 103, Make It Work. Wonder if this is, yeah, this also has a little divot. And again, I went for a dark shade. I don't know why. It's just feeling the dark shades. Ooh, you can definitely see a difference in the formula. This one is definitely more matte. So I'm going to try the matte formula on first because it is the lighter shade out of the two. That is such a soft feeling formula. It feels similar to the Cloudtopia actually, now that I think about it, just a little more slippy. I didn't want to apply a lip liner because I didn't want to alter the shade. So this is the matte lipstick in the shade Excuse Me. This is what it looks like on my lips. Actually more muted on the lip than when I swatched it out, and of course like your own lip pigment and everything plays a part. It's a very comfortable matte formula. Of course this is a bullet lipstick, so you're going to need to reapply it. I'm not sure how long lasting it's going to be. It doesn't look like it's going to like set down or anything. Regardless, that is a really nice wearable shade. Not as dark actually as I thought it was going to be, so I wouldn't actually mind wearing this like on a daily. Very comfortable. Okay, right, let's go in with the Satin formula. Like I said, it's in the shade Make It Work. So I'm expecting same creaminess. It's got the same sweet scent as the matte lipstick formula. Ooh, this is like a full-on winter shade for me. I am really liking it. Very creamy. I would say the finish is like any cream bullet lipstick. I wouldn't really say it's a satin formula. It's still, you know, got some shine to it. When you market something as satin, you're basically trying to say it's not quite matte, it's not quite glowy, creamy. This is definitely creamy. I do love the shade, but I wouldn't say that the finish is anything different or spectacular from any other drugstore normal creamy bullet lipstick. If you're expecting the finish to be between like a cream and a matte, it's definitely not that. It gives a finish of a normal cream bullet lipstick, but I do like the shade. So if you like the shade and you've got a similar skin tone to me, I'd definitely pick it up. It's like a muted brown red shade. Again, it's on the deeper end, but it doesn't look out of place or like I can't wear it for everyday use. So I like that. It's like a muted dip. So that's a Maybelline Satin lipstick in Make It Work, shade 103. Right, next up we've got two lipsticks from L'Oreal to try. This is new. It's the Color Riche Blurred Matte formulas, and I've picked up one red and like one more nude brown shade. This, when I came across it in the aisles, reminded me or sounded very much like the new matte powdered bullet matte lipsticks, and I was thinking, is that going to be a possible dupe? I haven't tried the MAC ones yet, but what I might do is actually go in and pick a similar shade to one of these to see if they are possibly dupes. So let's swatch these. I've got the shade 300 Le Rouge Paris. This is the red shade, really pointed tip and bullet. That is a nice red shade. And then I've got the shade 560 Rosewood Influence, and it's a more brown shade. Yeah, I don't know what I was feeling with like the more browny kind of lipstick shades this time round. Usually go for something more mauve, but yeah. Oh, that looks really nice. Okay, try Rosewood Influence first. Here goes. Oh, this has a scent too. A sweet scent, but a bit more perfumey. It's like a sweet scent mixed in with that like L'Oreal woody scent that they have. Ooh. That looks and feels more like the Maybelline Cloudtopia, actually. The slip, that like silicone-y feel. I think it's coming from that blurred formula, that the word blur accounts for this kind of silicone-y formula. But again, because of the formula, I think it's a very wearable everyday shade if you wanted it to be, especially on me, on medium skin tone. Let's see if I can build up the colour more. It's just literally sliding across. It's so interesting, this formula. What do you guys think? I love the shade. I love the blurred matte look, and I'm very keen to try this alongside the MAC one. So this is the shade 560 Rosewood Influence in the Blurred Matte Colorish lipstick. Okay, we're going to try shade 300 Le Rouge Paris. The reason why I picked this up is because this is like L'Oreal's signature red shade, and ooh, okay, it can be sheared out. I do feel like with the formula you have to be a little more careful when applying this red. This is like a nice neutral red tone shade with a hint, it's a hint on the blue side, not too bluey, but definitely don't make your teeth look yellow. But I think with this formula you do have to be careful because it's so slippy. With this kind of a red you are trying to be as precise as you can, and because the formula is very slippy, you probably want to use a lip liner with this. But I'm just going to see if I can clean up the edges here, make it look a little more presentable. Yeah, there we go. So I think with this blurred matte formula you can probably shear it out so it's not as pigmented, but this is what it looks like full pigment. I like the shade. It's a very out there bright red. I don't think it's an everyday shade for me, but it's definitely a nice red lipstick. Again, because of how slippy this formula feels, I don't think it's going to be very long lasting. Of course, I can't do a wear test today, but I will do a wear test soon and let you guys know, because this is such a stunning shade. But because it is slippy, I can imagine it wearing off, you know, fairly quickly, not lasting too long. I think some of you would prefer longer lasting formulas in shades like this where you don't have to keep reapplying or find a mirror to reapply. However, it is such a stunning shade and I'm really glad that I picked up the shade actually. I am. So that's how it looks swatched out, and this is what it's looking like full pigment on my lip. I feel like with a blurred matte formula, I feel like you can shear it out and blur it out. I mean, you can do that with any lipstick, you can shear out any lipstick, but I feel like if you want that blurred kind of stainy kind of look, I think that would be really easy to achieve with this. So I'm really excited to play around with these formulas. So I've just tried removing that red shade off and it has definitely stained my lip. You can see that is stained red. I'm going to try and remove it as much as I can because the next two products we have are actual lip stains, so I want to kind of see what those look like without having this affect it. Okay, I tried to the best of my ability to remove that blurred matte lipstick off, the stain off, and I've just gone over with a bit of foundation to kind of conceal the colour and pigment. So let's go in with these. These are the L'Oreal Hyaluron Tint Lip Stain Serums. I picked up one more kind of natural shade and then one more red shade. So I've picked up the shades 635 Worth It Medium and 521 Bordeaux Please. I feel like for some reason I need to shake these up. I don't know why. I think maybe because it has the word serum in it. So let's give them a little shake. We're going to swatch Worth It Medium first. Ooh, okay. Okay, feels like cold. And then Bordeaux Please. I think this is a deep kind of purpley red. Yeah, like a wine red. Not a wine red, like a burgundy red. Feels cooling. We'll go in with Worth It Medium first on my lips. So here's what the bullet looks like. It's a flat-tipped, pointy applicator. I feel like maybe I've picked up a little too much on the applicator, so let's go in with this. It's very flat looking applicator and it picks up product on both sides. Ooh, that's like very cooling. It smells a bit alcohol-y. It's very thin. Has a bit of slip to it, not drying though. Let's see if I can build up the colour. I feel like lip stains and tints used to be so drying back in the days, but this doesn't feel drying whatsoever. Like there is some nice slip to my lips. It feels so cold on the lips, like as I'm applying it and on the applicator itself. I'm going to see how much I can build this up. Okay, yeah, you can build it up. It's not glossy, but it does look hydrating. I'm just thinking how it would look as the moisture kind of seeps into the lips. Would it stay looking glossy? Not glossy, but hydrating like this, or would it dry out my lip? Because it's very thin. I couldn't swatch it out in the store, but it's definitely deeper than I thought on the lips. Like even on my hand here, swatched out, it doesn't look as deep. I feel like it's gonna stain my lips well though. I'm gonna remove some now. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's definitely left behind a stain. It's definitely staining my bottom lip more than the top lip. Okay, now barely anything is coming off. Okay, that's what the stain looks like once I've completely removed off the product. So it has left behind a bit of a red tone, a red colour to my lips. I'm going to just cover this up with foundation again and I'll come back to try the other shade. Okay, I've tried to cancel out as much as I can on my lip with the foundation, but let's go in with the shade 521 Bordeaux, please. That is this shade, which is the more red burgundy shade. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, I think I've got too much on my applicator. Okay, that's a bit better. On the lips, I don't know that there is much of a shade difference between those two. What do you guys think? Okay, as I'm building it up, I think it is showing slightly deeper. Okay, yeah, definitely deeper. So that's Bordeaux, please, fully built up on my lip. But when I was starting out, it didn't look like there was much of a difference between the two shades I picked up. But once I've fully built up the pigment, this is definitely more red and deeper. Does that mean the stain's going to be deeper is the question. It's such an interesting formula. When I'm applying it, it does feel like I'm applying a serum directly to my lip, like a thicker serum directly to my lips. I feel like the more I'm rubbing my lips together, the more hydrated it's looking, and it's looking more and more juicier. But this is the shade Bordeaux, please. That's what it looks like swatched on my hand. This is full pigment built up on my lips. I'm gonna try and remove as much as I can to see what the stain might be. Yeah, stain is definitely more red and deeper with this Bordeaux Please shade. So if that's what you want, I'd definitely go for one of the deeper shades. It's amazing how far formulas have come, because I remember trying tints out like when I was in uni, which is almost 10 years ago, or 10 plus years ago, nearly 10 years since I qualified basically. And yeah, stains would look horrible, especially if you have dry skin or dry lips, because they would just fill and look patchy and look weird on dryness. But I feel like formulas are getting so much better. It's just crazy. I've tried to remove as much of the pigment as I can. This is the tint we're left with on this Bordeaux Please shade. So the deeper shade has definitely done a better job at staining my top lip. So if you have dual toned lips or your top lip doesn't stain very well, I'd definitely go for one of the deeper shades so that you can get that stain effect. That's what you're looking for. Just reapplied a little bit of Wet It Medium, but my golly goodness, I am so shocked with these new formulas, these new drugstore releases. Like, I don't think I tried one dud today in my first impressions. I think wear test might give me some different thoughts, some different experiences, but based on a first impressions, yeah, the drugstore's killing it right now. These releases are upping it in formula. Like, there's different formulas to play with at the drugstore, and I really, really like that and where that's going. I hope that continues and the drugstore brands continue to put out, you know, different formulas, new formulas out there, so that we can try them all and, you know, play with makeup. Like, what is the point of everybody releasing the exact same formula and the exact same shades? And I think this is where innovation is, when you try different formulas, when you build on previous formulas. Like I said, I remember trying lip stains 10 years ago and they would look dry, patchy, horrible on your lips, and now we have such beautiful looking stains. My lips are dry and they don't look dry. I'm so excited to carry on playing with these formulas, and I hope you guys enjoyed these first impressions. But let me know if there are any other formulas, any other new releases you want me to try at the drugstore, and I definitely will, and get back to you on that. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.